Hi, Mops Mamas. It's Charlie, your YouTube host. Thank you for joining us today. Grab your beverage of choice and come hang out with us.
Hello, Mops Mamas.
Hey, mamas.
Hi, guys.
Hey there, Mamas.
Hey, Mops Moms.
Hey, Mops Mamas.
Hey guys.
Hi, Mops Moms.
Hey friends.
Hey, Mops Mamas.
Hello, friends. Charlie here with Mops of FBCW, joined today by the lovely, I always point wrong, Crysta. Thanks for joining us today. So Crysta is the Mentor Mom. This is our second episode of Meet a Mentor Mom Monday. Crysta, would you want to tell us about yourself?
Sure. I am getting ready to turn 50 this year in July. It's my big 50. I had planned like a big party, but that may not be happening. So I may take a big trip. I don't know. I want to do something fun. I've been married to my husband, John, for 20 years now. So with big milestones here this year for us.
Yeah.
This is our family. I just thought there's a lot of kids there. They're all ours. I mean, like there's one girl there that is Josh's fiance, but everyone else came up to the own. I have 3 bonus kids, Josh, Tracy, and Brett. My own 2 are Alex and Kensley. And when John and I got married, we had 5 children. So
wow,
that was
Brady
fun.
Bunch.
Yes, we did there was no Alice. We did the only reasonable thing, and we had one more, and that would be Caden, our baby Caden. And now Caden is at only child status during all this COVID stuff too. So
yeah, no Alice, man, that's the kicker. Okay, so what I find interesting about you, Crysta, among a lot of things, is that you have had a lot of interesting jobs outside of the home. So I was wondering if you could tell us, what was your favorite?
Okay, sure. I started working pretty early. I started working at 10 years old, babysitting for my neighbor. And that's all I did, all through high school, all through college. I babysat in college. I was a nanny for a professor. So it was just always babysitting, always watching children. Babies were my favorite. Little kids were my favorite. And I didn't really get another job until I got married. And I was tried to be like a secretary at a oral surgeon's office, and that was so funny because I'm not organized at all, and I messed a lot of things up in their office. They gave me a lot of praise and laughed a lot of it off, but I feel still really bad to this day about how terrible of a job I did. I don't know what my least favorite job was. It was that one. But then my husband at the time, I've been married twice. So my first husband was a volunteer firefighter and in this fire department, and in an attempt to grow closer with him and to bolster our relationship, I became a certified firefighter and a certified EMT, emergency medical technician. So I rode on fire trucks and ambulances, and I would crawl. I used to be really tiny. Like I didn't hit triple digits till my first pregnancy. So they would send me into the car to stabilize people, the crunched up cars. I was the first woman in to do things like that. But once I had my baby Alex, I didn't do that anymore because my whole world revolved around his little blonde head. There was nothing else. He was my moon and my stars and everything. Just that little baby. And then Kensley came along also. So I was just a mama, and that's probably my favorite job. It's my favorite job I've ever had. It's all I've ever wanted to be, was a mama. But then their dad left, so I had to go do something else, and I worked at a hospital emergency room for a little bit.
What did you do?
I was like a tech.
Okay.
The tech there, just help check people in, help if they were busy in the back, I'd go to the back. Not my favorite thing. Then my knight in shining armor, John Borden, came along, and we were married, and I didn't have to work anymore. But I had been doing like studying to be a doula on and off during all that time. And once he came and kind of like freed my life up, and I could do a lot of the things I wanted to do, I became a doula. When Kenzie was 2, I started volunteering for a crisis pregnancy center, and I attended birth with ladies, and the rest is history. I did that up until about 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I went on sabbatical, and that was my second favorite job of all times. I've seen over 100 babies be born, and
Wow.
I've seen them born at home, during C-sections. I've been with mamas who have had stillborn babies and miscarriages and twins. I've seen all of it, and it's been amazing, and just a gift and a blessing to be invited into those sacred moments for moms.
Wow. Yeah.
After that, I don't know, I just felt called to kind of lay that down, and I did, but I wasn't sure what else I was going to do. I love volunteering, and volunteered with MOPS since Alex was a little baby. But then a friend called and said, "Hey, there's a job I'd like for you to apply for if you would like this job." And I said, "Well, okay, sure." And I worked for Children's Services for 3 years.
Oh, 3 years. I didn't even realize it was that long.
It was 3 years. And right at that 3-year mark, my family started needing me more. My daughter was having like some emotional wellness problems, and we had elderly parents. My dad recently passed away, and we just had that pull, like kids still needed us, and aging parents needed us, and something had to give.
Right.
Because John's job was transitioning into some higher levels, and of course that meant less time for him. So I had to free myself up to be available for all these people, and that's what I did. I laid it down. I laid Children's Services down, and here I am, just kind of doing whatever now.
Doing whatever now. So what's funny is when I said you had interesting jobs, I didn't even know about the firefighter and EMT. That's funny that I thought the other stuff was interesting. No, the other stuff is interesting. I love that you were a doula for so long. That's always interested me. Birth is amazing. I love talking about birth. I love it. Love it all.
I do occasionally sneak back into the birth world if someone absolutely feels like they can't.
Hey, I'll keep that in mind because we are open to a 4th.
I hope so. You have the cutest kids, man. You should keep making more of those.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the problem is that someone has to take care of them once they're out and cute.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. Thank you so much for sharing all about that. I learned some new things. I had no idea you had done all those amazing things. And I love that your favorite was Mama. Let's go to some practical advice for these mamas today. What is your favorite activity for preschool age kids? Some of them, I guess.
So many.
One.
My very favorite was to read to them, but of course they wouldn't sit still and let me read to them all day long, or probably would have. But I love to play Play-Doh with them, or take them on walks and explore. Back in the old days, McDonald's had a playland area, and I would love to take them to play there and meet other moms. That's not really exciting preschoolers, but sanity for me. That was pretty cool. Yeah. And I just love teaching them new things because they're such little sponges, and they're so eager to learn and so receptive to teaching at that point that I just really like anytime we conquered something new.
Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, I'm with you on the play place. That's why I love Chick-fil-A, and I drive 25 minutes to get to Chick-fil-A. Although funny, I did see Crysta at Chick-fil-A yesterday. She was in the drive-thru. I was at the what do you call it? I don't know. Not DoorDash. I don't know. Something else. I was picking up food. Curbside. That's it. Yeah. So that's actually funny. Right. So moving into older kids, do you have any practical advice or tips for how to maintain a close like friendship with your older kids, like teens or young adults? And then also, like, when can that become a friendshipy type relationship?
I don't really know. I don't know. I've never been anything but their mom, and we're close. We go shopping and we go out to dinner, and I spend the night with them and visit them. We have a very close relationship, but it just really can't be anything but like mother, and it's not like child. Like I don't treat them like a child anymore. But I don't know. Kinsley and I had a really interesting discussion about that one time. We were looking at somebody else's social media page, and it was another mom and daughter that we know, and we really love them. And they talked about being best friends. And I said something about, how do you feel about our relationship? And she said, well, you're not my friend. And I said, okay. And I was like, where's this going? And she said, you're my mom. And she said, I can have all the friends in the world. Like anyone can be my friend. Potentially anyone can be my friend, but there's only one person in the world that can be my mom, and that's you. And I just want you to be my mom. And yep.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. That's actually a really great perspective. I mean, once you're a mom, you're always a mom. And so even though my mom and I would call us friends, but yeah, she is still also my mama that I go to when everything sucks and the world is crashing around me. I still go to my mama. Also, like, think about her, like, at home worrying about me, like, especially, if I'm at home with the kids and whatever, like, a mom is always worrying.
You're always
so
in
that,
our hearts. You're always just right here and always right here.
Yeah. So that is, that's an interesting perspective. I like it. Do you have like advice on maintaining just the closeness part? Well, actually, I'll move into the next question because it kind of goes into it kind of can go together. So the next one would be, not asking specifics here, but do you have practical advice for our moms who have an older child that are making, they're making different decisions than you would, but it's something that you're not going to completely forbid, something, maybe you have different values, clashing worldviews, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. How do you handle that, but also, maintain, I guess, just an open relationship?
God gave me a very, very special gift, and I didn't know it was a gift until just very recently. I thought it was a curse. But he gave me the gift of seeing, like, how to walk through that. And sometimes I didn't do it very well at all. But I eventually figured it out. I had a son, my son Alex, questioned his relationship with God and his Christian upbringing, and would just, like, I would put, like, I had this little sign that said Jesus is the reason for the season, and he would, like, Sharpie it out and write, actually it's the reason for the seasons, like the axis of the earth turning, science gets some, like, the Bible in a trash can. He was terrible. It was the worst. And and I kept trying to fix him. I kept trying to fix that boy of mine. And I tried and I tried and I tried, and the harder I tried, the worse, the more broke he became, I guess you would say. And I finally I went on a retreat. Actually, it was like this Christian retreat I went on, and it was it's called The Walk to Emmaus. If you ever have a chance to do that, I highly recommend it. And I went on the walk during the time when Alex was really rebellious against religion and Christianity. And I just cried and cried to this pastor and said, I just don't know what to do. I've tried everything. And he said, God can't fix something if you don't give it to him. He's like, you're like a child with a broken doll, and you want your dad to fix it, but you won't give it to him.
You won't let go.
Yeah, you have to lay it down and leave it at his feet And that had been, now that, you know, I didn't go home and Alex was sitting there reading the Bible or anything. It took a lot of me, like taking it back again, you know, but finally, when I finally laid it down, laid it at his feet, trusted his promises, it was not very long after that Alex, he came home and he just said, call Cody, who is our pastor. And I called Cody, and God bless his heart, he came over right away. And Alex was just crying, and he rededicated his life. And Alex is finishing up Bible college now. And he is,
I wondered if that was the one.
he followed the Lord and has just, I mean, been on fire for him ever since. And it's just the greatest heartache of my life turned into the greatest joy that I could ever tell you.
That's amazing. That's so beautiful. I can't imagine, because my kids are still, my oldest is almost 7. And I mean, we're already like in the smaller battles of control. Like, I feel like that's like the toughest thing is like, where do I let go of control? What do I control? What can I control? What should I let go of? And so just like the Holy Spirit, like telling you like, this is not one of those things you can control. And
if I took anything away from that, it was that that I have a lot less control. I mean, I've learned, God has shown me all throughout my life, and especially during my mothering season, that I don't have any control. I have 3 babies in heaven too. I had 2 miscarriages and a stillbirth, and during those times, like I learned that I could eat everything well, like I could do all the things to have a healthy pregnancy, and I still didn't have any control over that.
Yeah.
So
my sister-in-law had a miscarriage, and I remember her saying, you know, I thought I could be the author of life, and I'm not. And that's so hard. I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
That's okay. I definitely rest in God's sovereignty, and I know that someday I'll meet those babies, and Lord knows we had plenty of other ones, so I'll turn out okay. And I have been blessed with so many babies in my life, my entire life. Like I said, since I was 10 years old, I started babysitting my baby neighbor, and just from there on, I've always had babies in my life in one capacity or another, whether they were my own or babies that I was whose mom I helped when they were playing, or just mama's babies, just anyone. I just always have had babies in my life. God's really blessed me that way.
That's awesome. And I know that you're a blessing to those mamas and babies as well. So it's a both and. It works out really well.
Yeah, isn't that cool how that works?
Oh, that's cool. So now we're getting down to the wire here. If there was one thing, and this is crazy, and you may have already said this one thing, I don't know, but if there was one thing that you could tell our MOPS mamas today, what would it be?
It's going to be okay. And most of the things you're worried about are going to be better than okay. They're going to be better than you ever dreamed to pray they would be. They're going to be that much better. They just are. Some of the best days of your life haven't happened yet. I couldn't believe how good these days that I'm living in now are. And I don't even have any grandbabies yet. So I don't even know what that's going to be like, but I imagine it's going to be pretty cool.
Well, we need to hear that, man. I mean, sometimes, you know, you read all these sappy posts that say these are the best days of your lives. And I know, like, to a degree, there's like truth in that. And, you know, when your kids are young, these are the best days of your life. And it's like, man, well, that's also depressing, because then, you know, if we're peaking now, then the rest is just,
I mean, those seniors, man, those are something else. So, but they're also good. They're also so fun. Like, your kids are like rowing crew, or they're playing soccer, or they're doing all this fun, you know, marching in the marching band, and that's just a ton of fun too. So you try find the joy in every stage, and just grab onto it with all you got.
I love it. Okay, so for this last question, I'm gonna get some mood music here. because this is a very, very serious,
right.
intimate question. Okay. Let me see if I can do this. I mean,
right.
this is serious. So ladies,
Let me
get your hats. Get your hats on. Is that a thing? I don't think that's a
we'll
thing.
make it a thing. I think it's a good thing.
Okay. So here's the question, and then I will press play. Would you be willing to show us your best or favorite dance move? Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Crysta Borden. Let's see if we can press play here. Yes, girl. Go mama, go mama, go mama. Mama T, mama T, mama T, mama T. Mama T, mama T. I'm gonna try to do your move. No, I can't. Especially because I'm sitting on my butt.
I'll go all day.
So after the virus, dance party is Yay! You can't even stop her, ladies and gentlemen. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. Now you got your 20 minutes of, well, you know, it wasn't 20 minutes, but we'll call it that.
2 minutes. 2 minutes for cardio. More to go.
So yeah, we'll get off here and let you do 18 more minutes by yourself. You know, send us your sweaty selfie after. Oh my gosh, you're so fun. Thank you for being so fun. We are running out of time here. Okay. Zoom is telling me. But thank you so much. You're awesome.
This has been so fun.
I know, it really is fun. I love doing these and getting to know you guys and just getting to chat. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
And thank you for sharing your time and your gifts with us and our MOPS group. It really means a lot. You make us better. So thank you.
Ditto.
Thank you. Okay, so for those of you watching at home, thank you for joining us. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Listen to the music, sing oh, eh, oh. Just move those left feet. Go ahead, get crazy. Anyone can do it, sing oh, eh, oh. Show the world you got that fire. Feel the rhythm getting louder. Show the room what you can do. Prove to them you got the moves. Hey, I don't know about you, but I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. I'm better when I'm dancing.